Are you ready for it? Yeah, that's right. A brand new Gundam card game, Info Dump. Hey YouTube, welcome back to UniXTCG, and yeah, we just got done with the very first Link Station podcast, the first episode actually, that they promised us way back when we did the last info dump. Now there's plenty of information here about the card game and upcoming cards and whatnot, but it is all in Japanese audibly, so I thought I'd break it down and summarize it here so you guys can hear it, just in case you can't just watch the screen for every little bit. Now that being said, if you want to support this video, make sure you like it, make sure you subscribe to the channel for more future Gundam card game content, and if you really want to go the extra mile, you can go in the description and join my $1 tier at the Patreon, because that support adds up and it goes a long way. Now that being said, let's hop into the info dump. Okay, so the first thing we're going to look at is they announced that they're going to do some changes going from the beta edition over to the official release, and so they just wanted to present that in a visual form. Right here, if you look at these side by side, on the left you're going to have the beta edition, on the right you're going to have the official release. There's some touch-ups to the color to make it a little more vibrant, but the main things come from the font as well as the visibility of the HP and AP, and then last but not least, they changed the graphics for the link so that you can kind of see how it points downward to where the overlay is going to be. And on this slide, they kind of just tell you about that, showing you that yes, the AP/HP text color revised, so you can see it better. The link condition text is added, and then the text size increased for readability. So that's actually pretty cool. Nice quality of life changes, and personally, as a person that's been playing Bandai card games since Dragon Ball Super, before it was called Masters, I really do like the attention to detail they're giving this, even from the kind of first look stage till now. Now, moving over to the next slide, you actually have the them showing what the pilots actually look like. And there's going to be kind of a different little bit, because the pilots will have the box at the bottom to show you what the stats are added on and whatnot, and they also show the command over here, Kai's Resolve, because he's a command/pilot. So yeah, they're just showing you basically how these go, and you have pretty much the same things. They took the pilot off of the side right here, and they put it on, for the pilot command, they put it on the bottom still, so you can kind of see that it can be a pilot as well, whereas before it was much less emphasized. Then on the Amuro one that you can see here, they have the pilot kind of up at the top, because you know it's a pilot card. That's that's the main focus of the card. It's not a command, it's not a command, it's not a command as well as a pilot, it's just a pilot. So yeah, this is actually pretty cool. And then down here, once again, they just kind of explain that pilot design is now unified for pilot and command cards. And yeah, so it's just some clarification right here. Now, looking over here, with these current changes, it lines up a lot better. You're gonna want to line up the bars right here at the bottom. And previously, you could do that, but that's this is pretty much the whole point. They wanted to make sure that you can line up the bars and it looks even crisper when it's together, showing you exactly what the stats are. And a lot of people are overlaying them, but seeing from what I've seen people kind of put their cards on top of their cards, it didn't look like a lot of people realize that those bars line up like that, or supposed to line up like that. But yeah. The next thing we wanted to look at is they changed some of the pilot stuff. They wanted to make sure that these are just easier to read, whereas before you had just, Hito Yui saying this unit gets AP +1 and HP +1 while linked. Meanwhile, in the, well, now that we have the changes, it says during link in its own text box that's highlighted, so you can kind of just see specifically what that's for. So that's actually pretty cool. And then they show you another version of this when it comes to Atherin. But in this case, it looks like Atherin actually has a new effect, because previously it looks like it says when paired, and then it says if this is a link unit. Okay, so they did some condensing just to make it not as confusing, because this says when paired, which would insinuate any pairing, but then it says if this is a link unit, which would insinuate that it has to be under one of his used Gundams. So now it's just being condensed to when linked. There's no when paired if this is a link unit. It's just when linked, because that's the same thing. So yeah, that's a little bit of cool, just clarification to make sure people don't get confused. And then there's even some clarification with Breach. And Breach right here is just saying the original version that we had here is Breach 5. When this unit's attack destroys an enemy unit, deal the specified amount of damage to the card in that opponent's shield area. Now, a lot of people were just kind of confused, and it just was a thing that people pretty much had to explain over and over and over again. However, now it says Breach 5, when this unit attack destroys an enemy unit, deal the specified amount of damage to the first card in that opponent's shield area. And just to let you know, bases do count as being in the shield area. It's not like a base area, it's a shield area. So yes, this is just some text that tries to make it a little easier. Now, moving over to the starter deck summaries. They had brief little summaries basically letting you know. Now, if you've been playing the beta and grinding it and then the demo event as well, you've kind of seen that this is kind of the theme for these archetypes, but it's cool to have it here. And for the people that haven't been fortunate enough to get the demo events or the beta events, this is going to be good to just kind of let you know what you're in for. So, Heroic Beginnings. The title, like Gundams, are going to be the original RX-78 as well as Gundam Aerial. And on top of this, the summary says a mid-speed deck that disrupts the opponent's front line with the link of Gundam and Amuro, which are very useful for mid-game onwards. Powerful white command cards provide support during the battle, letting you constantly attack the opponent. This is because you have commands that allow you to basically elongate your plays, as well as pilots like Satella, which are going to allow you to untap resources. And then you have things like Amuro being paired, allowing you to rest powerful cards and then swing around them, including blockers and so on. So that's pretty cool. Now, they did show off the face cards, like the face pair, as I like to call them, Gundam, the original RX-78, as well as Amuro, its famous pilot, but they also ended up going into new cards for each starter deck, so weaving that in this video. The first new card we have seen is Unforeseen Incident. An Unforeseen Incident is just a, it is a command card, and it says burst, activate this card's main/action, choose one enemy unit, it gains -3 AP during this turn. This being a singular cost with a level of 3 means that you can change the battle math mid-attack, and that's actually really great. Your opponent hits you, and let's say your opponent has 3 power, and they have 3 power and, you know, 3 AP and 3 HP. And they attack into you, and you've got, you know, 3 AP and 2 HP, you know what I mean? And they think that this is just going to be a trade. Well, you can actually use this minus their AP down to 0, and then you destroy their unit, but they don't touch your unit because their AP is now 0. So battle action, really, really cool. We're here for that. Now, moving on to the next deck, you got Wings of Advance. And Wings of Advance says it's a green-blue deck. By the way, the last one was green-white, or sorry, blue-white. Blue being the original Mobile Suit Gundam side, whereas the white side was Witch from Mercury. Now this one instead is full wing, with the green side being Wing Gundam, and the like, you know, the Gundam Meisters, and then the blue side being Oz with Tall Geese. So it says, by utilizing the resource ramp effect of green, this deck lets you quickly deploy high-level units centered around the powerful link of Wing Gundam and Hito Yui. This deck is made for attacking opponents. This deck is going to have Mad Breach in it. This deck is going to have bombs, because that is what green does, and I'm assuming that they would just put some high-level things. I'd have to assume that Tall Geese costs a lot, because this deck is a ramp deck. So going into the you know, face pairing, you've got, of course, Wing Gundam and Hito Yui. We should not be strangers to this, as it is in the beta. It's like all these face combos, except for I think one of them should be in the beta. But then moving over to the new card, we've got a new Gundam Heavy Arms. And first off, the art looks amazing. He is letting loose in his favorite fashion. Probably our favorite fashions if you're a fan of the Wing series. But it is a level 5, 3 cost with 3 AP, 4 HP, and of course it's going to link with Troa Barton. It says English version, during pair, during your turn. When this unit destroys an enemy unit with battle damage, sorry guys, it's pretty late, deal 1 damage to all enemy units that are level 3 or lower. So this is actually really, really, really cool, because you get to pepper the opponent's weenies with, I don't know why I laughed at that, with just some sparse damage. You literally should be able to, like, if your opponent has like Ball, for instance, or a Zaku with 2 AP and 1 HP, or all sorts of things, Murasaki, you're gonna be able to just kind of clear some things inadvertently. So this guy is gonna actually make some really cool trades, and it's gonna open up some trades too. Getting some things down a little lower so that your tinier guys can just clear it up is gonna be pretty cool. Or if something has, you know, 2, 3 as a stat line, 2 AP, 3 HP, and normally your Wing Gundam bird mode would not be able to trade with it, but you can just play this card, and as long as he's linked, you know, you're gonna go in, just KO something or destroy a unit, pepper all the small cards with 1 damage, and then your Wing Gundam bird mode can now trade. So very, very, very cool. Moving over to the third starter deck, you have got the Zeon Rush, and the red side is Neo Zeon from Gundam Unicorn, whereas the green side is regular Zeon, OG Zeon from Mobile Suit Gundam, the first series. And the summary says this beatdown deck can attack the opponent from the early game with light green units, well supported by commands. The finishing combination of Sinanju and Full Frontal is also very powerful. Now, yes, if you guys have ever looked at my backdrop, go to the beginning of the video, you'll see the Unicorn shelf is stocked. I think the only thing I don't have on there is Phoenix, and that's just because at this very moment, I don't want to build a Unicorn Gundam a 4th time. But that shelf has Unicorn, that shelf has Unicorn Full Armor Vernier, that shelf has Banshee, that shelf has Sinanju. I love Unicorn, so you can bet your butts I will be playing this deck, and I will be seeing if I can push it to something meta-worthy. However, we're looking at Sinanju's official reveal. Now, this card was already revealed before. We've already seen it. However, it is really, really cool to finally get it in all of its high-res beauty. This thing is a monster. It is a level 6, 5 cost, 5 AP, 4 HP card unit. And then it says, during pair, this unit gains high maneuver. And then during your turn, when this unit destroys an enemy shield area card with battle damage, choose 1 enemy unit, deal 2 damage to it. So you've got a little bit of like ping. This can clear very small units. This can soften other units for potential trades, and it has high maneuver, so it's unblockable. Just what you want to see to be able to combat some of this heavy blocker, blue-white nonsense. Not nonsense, it's a valid strategy, but still, I just love Sinanju. It's one of my favorite units of all time. Did I mention once again that I got the Master Grade in the background? Like, I love this unit, and this card looks so fresh. So yeah, this is going to be paired with the newly revealed card on the screen, Full Frontal. And Full Frontal is a level 6, 1 cost that says when paired, you may deploy 1 Neo Zeon / Zeon unit card that is level 4 or lower from your hand. And the crazy part about this though is that if you are at 7 resources, because this is a 6 resource like play, you know what I mean? A 6 resource play. You tap 5 for Sinanju, you tap 1 for Full Frontal. But if you are at 7 resources, you could play out a Char card. Like play out a Zaku 2, Char Zaku 2 or something like that. And then with the last remaining resource, pair Char. He's gonna give his Link unit high maneuver, spawning 2 high maneuver attacks. So this is already looking to be quite the card, and I would expect nothing more from the clone of my boy, the Red Comet. Sorry, that might be a spoiler, but look, the Unicorn's like 8 years old or something. So look, it is what it is. It is what it is. Now, moving over to the next one, the very, very next one, we've got this summary for Siege Strike, okay? And Siege Strike's the 4th starter deck. It is white and red, the white side being the Earth Alliance from, you know, Gundam Seed, and then the red side being Zaft from, you know, Gundam Seed. Again, guys, it's late, I apologize. But you've got Strike Gundam, as well as, I think it's Ale Strike Gundam, as well as Aegis. I almost said Justice, but that's his later Gundam, so Aegis Gundam. And the summary says, while blocking opponents' attacks with white blockers, Link units such as Ale Strike Gundam and Kira Yamato can be used to strike the opponent when the opening arises. So yeah, I mean, we all know, once again, Kira Yamato and Ale Strike go together like PB&J, as they are meant to. We are on that slide now, and we already know how strong of a unit Kira Yamato is to any of the Strike Gundams, and Lord help us when we eventually get a Freedom Gundam, and you know that thing is going to be cracked, because the Gundam Seed Destiny / Gundam Seed Blaze is entirely real. Now, the new card we got is actually really interesting. It's a new card called Striker Pack, and it's a level 4 2 cost command that says burst. If you have no Earth Alliance unit tokens in play, deploy one Ailstrike Gundam Earth Alliance AP3 HP3 blocker unit token. But main, if you have no Earth Alliance unit tokens in play, you can deploy one Sword Strike Gundam, which is Earth Alliance AP4 HP2 blocker, or one Launcher Strike Gundam Earth Alliance AP2 HP4 blocker unit token. This flexibility is going to allow you to come quite clean when it comes to making just some board presence. It only costs 2, which is great, so you literally use this for the cost of what you would activate White Base for, and we already know how good White Base is. Not quite the same, because this just goes away once you use it, but you have the ability to make a bunch of cool stat lines. 3-3 for balance, 4-2 for attack, and 2-4 for defense. Now, going over there, they decided to grace us even harder and give us the actual tokens, and they are looking pretty cool. Sword Strike Gundam looks amazing. Ailstrike Gundam obviously looks amazing. I've never quite been a fan of Launcher Strike Gundam, but these are all cool, and I'm glad we have tokens representing all of his different loadouts. Pretty awesome, pretty shway. Now, moving over here, the next slide we got going for it, and that's all 4-star decks coming out at launch, is the teaching app release. Now, this is very interesting because obviously a lot of Bandai games get the teaching apps, right? However, looking at this is indeed a teaching app, but is it so odd to think that maybe one day we could have an online client? I'm just saying. We got hand count, deck count, trash count. This looks a little more in depth than the normal teaching apps we have. This looks closer to the Fusion World client. So I am very excited to see what this can actually go into. Moving to the next slide, we actually have this. They have these animations, and we're actually looking at a couple of cards here that we haven't seen. So up at the very top, you have Wing Gundam. That's expected. It looks like there's something under him, maybe a Hito Yui. Then over to the side, it looks like that is a Gundam Seed ship, I believe. That is a Gundam Seed ship from the Zaf side. Now down here, we have a white card, and that's Mulaflaga's ship. That might have been in the demo. I can't remember. I haven't looked through the white cards in the demo. But then at the bottom, we've got Unforeseen. We got the Unforeseen card that was spoiled. We have a Gundam MA form that doesn't have art that I think we've seen yet. And then over here, we have got, that actually looks like a Leo. That looks like an aerial Leo. It's blue, and it's got heavy arms in it, so it's definitely from Oz, and I think from the back that is an aerial Leo, so that's actually pretty cool, right? It might not be called an aerial Leo, but y'all understand. But this looks pretty cool, and if we ever get an online client for Gundam, I'd very much appreciate that too. Now, they start going off on merchandise, which is what you're seeing on the screen right now. We have the sleeves that are going to come out right off the rip, and there's the original Gundam card game logo in blue. This is pretty much what most of the card backs look like that aren't resources or EX resources or tokens. And then we have the Gundam Earth Federation, and that's actually pretty cool. You have Gundam with the sign behind them. Looks great in blue. And then on the other side, imposing, you've got Sharazaku 2 and the Xeon logo behind him in red. These will definitely be some of my sleeves of choice for quite something. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. And then you have overflowing affection for all the people that want the waifu power of their sleeves. Nice, like the crisp art from the overflowing affection alt art from the beta set. Looking very good. And then the next bit of paraphernalia we got, new dice. Now, I'm a huge fan of the dice that we got from the beta kit, but this looks like something I'm also going to pick up as well. It's cool. It's got 6 dice per, but it's also got this commemorative 10, and I think that's what drives the price up because it's, I think, $15 here. So I'm super excited to see this. We are looking at these dice. They're frosted, but they look more transparent. You can see some of the sides of the die through the side of the die. So this is more like transparent than the original ones we got in the beta kit, but they've got the Gundam card game logo, and they got blue iridescent paint in the inscription. So yeah, we will be there. And it says 01, official damage counter 01, or official damage counter dice 01, so you know they're making more. Now, moving over to the next slide, they are making a deck box, and yes, the deck box may not be your deck box of choice, but what comes with them is insane. Not only is there going to be a separator that you can use to separate your resources, your EX base, you know, things like that from your deck. But they're also coming out with an EX resource, a Lacus Klein EX resource, looking quite timid for holding the Haru. But they're also coming out with a Strike Gundam EX base that looks so nice. And I'm not even like the biggest Seed fan, but this looks really good. So this is going to be a really cool item to get. And if you do want to end up playing, you know, Seed, like, and this is just kind of what you want, or you want Seed to be the main flavor of your decks moving forward, you're going to be able to get 5 of these and have your EX resource Lacus Kleins, because you can only have 5 on the field at a time, and then still have 4 EX bases to trade with somebody, maybe for some future releases of this kind. Now, on this screen, I just wanted to show you the moving. It was kind of hard to get, but the screenshots I took of the stream, these are both foil, and they're not just foil, they're actually textured foil. You're gonna, if you go back and watch it, which I highly advise you to do, I'll have it in the description, you're going to be able, or maybe a pinned comment, it'll be the pinned comment, you're gonna be able to see that both of these are textured foil, much like the altarts of this current set, much like the, basically the EX resources and the extra resources we currently have. So they're textured foil, they look absolutely amazing, and I am super here. I am super here for it. Now, speaking of additional resources, we've already seen the basically the Hito Yui resource. I believe we've seen the Zex Marquise and the Talgis one, and we've seen the spoiling or the teasing of the Atherin and Aegis one. So this is all really cool, but as you can see, there's 1, 2, 3, there's 6 more that they have not shown. So yeah, assuming that we get like 2 from every, I don't know, major series, we could see an Amuro and Gundam one. We can see a Char. You know, we might see a Benage and Unicorn. We're definitely gonna get, like, don't even kid, we're definitely gonna get Kira and Strike. There's no way not. And we might see a Satella and Aerial one. So these are really cool. It's just a matter of how we're gonna see this, because the events are definitely gonna be different. Like, as it stands, the beta event in the US gave us the Hito Yui one. We don't have any events that give us the Zex Marquise or the Atherin, as far as I know. Now, moving over to this slide, they did spoil that number, like the next one they're going to show off is a Char and Zaku 2 one, which looks great. I'm just going to say, you guys, if you're looking at this on the screen right now, I hope you guys come correct. One of these guys is a metaphorical clone of the other. One of these guys is so cool that they made this other character. And only the real will know which one I'm talking about. Leave it in the comment if you understand. If you understand what I'm talking about, leave it in the comment. But yeah, we are going to move on to the next slide, just letting you guys know that there are still Gundam Assemble on the horizon. This is a Char Zaku 2, another Zaku 2, and a Heavy Bombardment Zaku model, just all chilling. And it's just here to let you know that these guys are still here, and they will be cool. It will be, if you are going to be that extra, and I'm not even gonna say extra, if you're gonna ball out and have every miniature that matches your cards, go ahead, man. I can't stop you, and you'll put it on the table and you'll flex on your opponent. But it looks pretty cool. Now the next one is a new resource. They said coming soon, and they really meant it. This is the aforementioned, very much so, pretty much soft confirmed Kira into Kira into Strike Gundam. This is great for all you Seed fanatics. This is about to be really cool. Like, you guys are getting everything, like a Kira resource, a Lacus Klein, EX resource, a Strike Gundam EX base. Like, you guys are gonna be kidded. Wing and Seed fans will be kidded out the gate, and that is crazy. Now, this was exciting. Starter Deck 5 news. They were just giving us an announcement. They had a cool little lead in, and they showed us this the original, you know, just data that they had on it, showing us that set 6 or Starter Deck 6 was G-Quack's clan unity, but they haven't talked about 5. And here we go, guys. Purple is being introduced in, it looks like the 5th starter deck, and likely set 2 as well. And they're going to have Gundam Barbados 4th form, it seems, as the headliner, being the LR. So yes, Iron-Blooded Orphans is coming for starter deck 5. Get your engines set. This game is pure hype, yo. And so we even have the name Starter Deck 05 Iron Bloom. Because if you guys know Tekkadan, y'all know Tekkadan, but this is wonderful. This is actually just joyous. And the art looks so good for this. So good. Crucial moment. And yeah, that's actually pretty much that. That's all the information we got here. And so I am very, very curious to know your thoughts when it comes to this. So yeah, that was a lot to unpack. Let me know in the comments what you guys think of all this, and let me know in the future if you guys would appreciate more of these link station, you know, breakdowns where I do it in English. Just want to make sure I can get the information out in ways that can be, you know, easily digested if you just don't have the time to be up here in the morning watching this kind of thing. So yeah, that being said, if you want to support the video, like I said, just like the video or subscribe if you haven't already. I did mention everything in the description you can check out. And then on top of that, if you want to see more Gundam content on my other channel, Universe X, I just released a episode 1 breakdown and review for Mobile Suit Gundam G-Quux episode 1. Very, very exciting series coming out the gates as a Gundam fan, and I am very much so looking to next episode. So yeah, and then last but not least, I want to give a special shout out to the people that make this brand and channel go vroom. That is the Realm of Extras, my top Patreon tier. So shout outs to the Beer R's, the Brother Bears, the Bryce R's, the Christopher V's, the Dallas S's, and the Danielle N's of the world. Thank you so much for supporting the channel like you do. And if you join, just make sure, just know that I'm going to be giving you a special shout out the very next video as well. And the graphics to show you guys at the end of every video are coming also. So thank you guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.